Hey, everybody. You're listening to Page Screen and Beyond podcast number 20. This week we discuss Marvel Comics number 1 selling for an absurd amount of money, Iron Man VR, The Mandalorian episode 3, Sturgill Simpson's new Netflix anime, Stranger Things, and more. If you hear anything you'd like to see from this podcast, be sure to check out the links below.
Much like this Square Enix project, it looks like just a good take on the Marvel Universe and letting you kind of be in a repulsor suit exploring it.
But as a VR.
Yeah.
Cool. Man, the Square Enix one looks good.
Agreed. Especially with all, like, this is the first time I've been stoked on DLC, because it's like, okay, cool, I'll do the narrative with the characters that they wrote the game for.
Yep.
And then get variants and other cool different, character types as time goes on. It's a brilliant strategy.
It definitely promotes replayability.
Oh, yeah.
So that one's backed by Marvel Studios.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, that's damage control.
Yeah. It's like
Got it. Yeah, it's never going to be consumer based.
No.
You'll never be able
it's
to
like
buy
an
it.
event.
You have to go somewhere to play it.
Oh.
Yep. So they do these. The Void is the business that has the right to do it. I think they're like a VR experience business.
Right, like how they started.
It's like laser
with
tag
Vader.
with VR where they set up like a space to do
Yeah,
it.
so it basically just tours around the U.S. kind of like an exhibit at the Science Museum or something.
Yeah, right. Is this what you're talking about? Marvel Powers United VR?
No, I'm familiar with that one. The damage control was the one I saw.
Yeah.
Strange one's gonna be expert tier.
No shit. It's a bunch of waving hand motions and...
It still seems kind of like PS3, like Xbox 360.
I mean...
But being immersed in is in a completely different
Very
experience.
True. I completely agree. But
And in all actuality, VR is still in its infancy stages.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
And for being in its infancy stages, I think its infancy is leaps and bounds better than what the infancy of like console.
Now, is it just the
was.
technology, or is it the studio that's just kind of like
It's
trying
technology.
to pump it?
It's
pump it out?
technology. There's a lot more.
I mean, yeah, I know that like the VR like headset itself like needs to like have certain specs in the processor and everything.
No,
You need to have like
I think it's more about like generating a 3D space like that and having you.
well, I mean, look at that compared to what we just watched with Half-Life, and it's like Half-Life looks like a completed like game, like a game you'd buy just straight out of E3.
Yeah, and I think that's just the studio being.
They took their time.
Phenomenal.
They took 12 years to make it too. So
Right.
it's like if you look at like just the time in production, like the time that Half-Life or Valve had to create Alex, is probably 6 times what.
Yeah,
and
they
what
spend
their
on-
intentions are as well.
Yeah. I think it takes that much more work to code through VR stuff.
Yeah.
This is coming from somebody who knows little to nothing about coding, but I would assume that's far more complicated.
Screen is definitely my lightest this week because we only have a little tiny teaser for it, but Michael B. Jordan's got a movie coming in 2020 called Without Remorse. Looks to be a war movie, which after his Killmonger portrayal, I'm really excited to see Michael B. Jordan in a very serious. war-driven film.
Yeah. I find? I saw a poster, and that's about it. A poster and a synopsis for a movie coming in 2020 with, I know his name and I'm blanking on it now. He was in Waiting and Accepted and
Justin Long.
Justin Long.
Also, Dodgeball.
Dodgeball. I was getting to that one next. So he's getting ready to take on a big promotion, and then takes an acid trip or a hallucinogenic trip or something, and it unravels his reality and starts to expose like what's really happening and like the spiral that comes along with that. Looks really interesting.
That sounds amazing.
Sounds and there's a considerable cast for it too. I should know this better.
Speaking of considerable cast, I'm really excited to see Knives Out.
See what?
Knives Out. It's basically modern day Clue. It's a whodunit mystery in a house with a bunch of really big names.
Interesting. Who's directing that?
I do not have the Knives Out knowledge off the top of my head.
Ooh, I was wrong. The Wave is what the movie's called. It's coming out this year.
Okay. Yeah, The Wave. Keep an eye out for that. Okay, so Knives Out is Ryan Johnson.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Ryan
Star Wars.
Johnson, and we're looking at Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon, Don Johnson, Tony Collette. I mean, just like it goes on and on.
It's got everybody.
Yeah.
Are you guys current on Mandalorian?
I'm one behind, and I am overwhelmingly sorry.
I mean, it came out last night. I can't really blame you.
I had forgotten about it until Rin came home and was like, "Hey, didn't the Mandalorian come out? Why aren't we watching that?" And I was like, "Oh yeah."
I would have liked to
She
watch
was
it.
on it. My girlfriend was on it before I was.
But I mean, shit, if you guys want to talk about it in a non-spoiler sense, I mean, that's how, I've been seeing a lot of people do it. But that's kind of, talking about The Mandalorian in general in a non-spoiler sense, it's cool.
Okay, it's exactly the episode you want after the second episode. That's basically how I can say it.
Mhm.
Like, it's...
The
There's a
immediate
beginning-
questions you have
There's a
are
beginning,
what's
there's a
getting
middle,
addressed.
there's an end, and there's just entertainment and,
How many episodes is this supposed to be?
9.
Oh, 9. I thought it was 8.
It's 9.
Oh,
Is it 9 because they split the first episode?
They shortened
How long
the
was this episode? How long was 3?
37.
Okay.
yeah. This is the closure of your first trilogy.
Yes.
Like if it's a 9-part series, the way they did these first 3 episodes works out very nicely as like your first saga, your first part of a 9-piece saga.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good. If you thought about it as like a stage play, you definitely feel like this was Act 1.
Okay.
This was the end of Act 1. Cool.
Enticing.
Yeah,
In the same breath, I did finish Fallen Order.
Nice.
Yes.
Good.
Lot of fun. Oh, narratively astounding.
Cool.
Yeah. That's what I've heard.
Real enjoyable.
Yeah.
I'd say overall my biggest complaint about the game would be the map.
Linear?
No, the map itself, like the map HUD, is kind of confusing and difficult to traverse. It's very Star Wars, but it's in a very great game, like a lot of fun gameplay. That is probably one of my 2 biggest gripes, and the other one's a lot more selfish of just wanting more like dark side powers
Sure.
/ capabilities.
Yeah. You're pretty grounded in the light side of the Force then throughout, it sounds like.
It's a narratively very linear. Like, this is Cal Kestis' story, and
Got it.
you're like, he's gonna be a canon character. So it's like what he does in this game is the path of a Jedi.
Where does this fall within canon?
This is immediate,
Timeline?
5 years after Order 66.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so jumping between that and Mandalorian, we're pre-original trilogy and post-original trilogy.
Yeah.
So this is like when Luke is about 5 or 6 years old. Luke and Leia. This is basically like...
Yeah, they'd be children.
The idea of it,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to
A bunch of Jedi and high.
line it up with the rest of the timeline.
No, like I said, narratively, amazing. Cal Kestis' story, and man, BD-8 makes a running for like best droid. Like, it steals your heart. BD-1 is my guy.
You said BB-8.
Yeah, my bad.
That's BD1 is the
BD-1.
droid.
BD-1 is my little guy.
Got it. Got it.
Oh man.
Is it a very like Ratchet and Clank type of like partnership where like you can utilize him for like attacks and like traversing the...
Yes and no. It's a lot less Ratchet and Clank. It's not so much like needing him as a partner, but like he's a great, like he has abilities that help throughout the game, but it's more just like a real good companion.
Okay.
Got it.
Nice. Good. I started watching a playthrough of the Vader fight, but then I stopped.
Okay.
Because I don't want to. I thought I wanted to, and then I was like, nah, I gotta save it. But, yeah, looks like fun. I need to get a PlayStation.
If you guys want to watch the trailer before we dive into talking about it, Plan 8 is the name of that game that looks amazing.
I want to show the trailer for this game quick, because it's only a quick 2 minutes. It's called Warlock, and it's like...
What's a Doom?
It's a Doom-based, Doom-inspired, like...
Yes. So it is Doom?
It's basically Doom.
You know, Super Doom ripoff, but if people buy it.
No save points.
Yeah, so... Does this have a release date?
This came out October 18th, 2018. So
it's probably
already
live in the
out.
world.
But I just saw it the other day. And I've been really wanting to play like an old Doom game, but not Doom. You know what I mean?
This is exactly that.
This is exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't get it on a console. You gotta play it on a computer.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it receives well on a computer. Because that would be really great on like a Switch.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Polish? Eastern European?
I think so.
I mean, I don't know what language that's in, but it looks Eastern European.
It's not offering to translate either.
Hot.
Alright, cool. It's kind of why I haven't played it.
Yeah, so that's definitely a roguelike Doom emulator.
Yeah. But I saw it the other day and thought I'd share. Because,
Project Warlock.
yeah. And I'm wondering if there's like a multiplayer option.
It'll be fun.
Oh, it was made by some 18-year-old kid who developed it while attending high school.
Oh, lovely. That sounds awesome. Good for him.
Oh, that gives me a little bit of hope for the future. That's nice. That's
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
78 out of 100 on Metacritic. 8 out
Okay.
of 10 from Destructoid.
Yeah.
Halo Reach is going to release on Master Chief Collection on December 3rd. So you'll be able to play that just on Xbox One finally.
Real soon.
Real soon. I'm excited for it because it's going to be like 60 FPS finally and able to run 4K. And that game is the best. Besides, like, the first Halo, like, Halo Reach is
Real pretty.
narrative-wise, it's beautiful, and, yeah, it's just a good game.
Hell yeah.
I feel like I missed the Halo hype. Like, I don't know.
It was,
I've
no, I
always
get
been
it.
a PlayStation
No, yeah.
user, like, always.
No, that's okay. I get it.
And I get what it is. Like, I get why people hype about it,
Yeah.
but...
It's yeah, it is what it is.
Whatever. It's a franchise I don't play.
Yeah, I get it. I feel the same way about, like, the Ghost Recon right now, where it's like, I played it at the beginning, like, when it, like, first came out, where it was, like, Ghost Recon, whatever, Tom Clancy's, you know, when it was first coming out. But now it's just, like, it's turning into, like, a Call of Duty, like, pump one out every year. Like, let's try and get more and more.
I was too dumb
Crazy
to
shit.
play Ghost Recon when I was a kid. They took too much strategy.
It
I
was-
just wanted
that's
to
the
shoot
thing.
shit.
That's the thing, is it was a lot of strategy and a lot of, like, tactical movements in the beginning, and now it just turned into, like, that combined with Call of Duty, where you're just running and gunning. You can be tactical and, like, be stealth, but more often than not, it's just like, let's blow them away. My roommate plays it all the time, and yeah, that's just all it is.
Very excited though.
Megalobox anime gets a sequel. Saw that as well the other day.
Unfamiliar.
I'm also unfamiliar, which is interesting
So
considering how
13
much I anime.
That's
That's wild.
I watched-
That's intriguing.
I remember watching like a couple. It was really good, but I just never watched it. But my friend on Facebook showed this the other day. And
It's a boxing anime.
it's a 13-episode anime premiered on TBS in April 2018. Crunchyroll streamed the series as it aired. The series, English dub, premiered on Adult Swim's Tsunami Block in December. The show's home video release in Japan featured new anime shorts. The anime celebrates 50th anniversary of Iki Kajiwara and named Asako Takamori, and it features an original story. In the new story, a man called J.D. Junk Dog participates in fixed boxing matches in an underground ring in order to live. Today he enters the ring again, but he encounters a certain person. JD wants to take on the challenge that risks everything. I don't know. It's got a cool aesthetic, and the first like 2 episodes that we watched, it was pretty dope.
Anime boxing is 2 words that I like hearing together.
Oh, it's boxing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into it. I'm into it. I watch a lot of fighter animes. Really classic art style. Yeah, I dig this.
He's got like a power-up suit for his arms.
Yeah. Oh, so is that like a recap of what the original series was about?
I think so, yeah. I recognized a little bit of it. wasn't sure.
Interesting. Oh yeah, he came back with a beard. I'm sold. Hmm.
in development. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. I love any kind of like weird anime that's just like its own unique style and like has its own unique story and like all that stuff.
Have you watched the Sturgill Simpson 42-minute
I
thing
actually
on Netflix
watched.
yet?
No, I haven't, but that is in my queue. I told
Fury
because I watched.
and something.
Yeah, I watched the Joe Rogan podcast where he was talking about it, and it makes me really watch it. It's on my list.
My father told me to watch it, which was like
Really?
way out of left field. So I played like the first 20 minutes the other day
Yeah.
before Rin came home because she doesn't anime at all.
Sure.
And it's
It's
solid.
good?
Yeah, it's
They
really
he was
cool.
saying that like he tried to like make it as like cool as he wanted it, and he just said he wanted to always make an anime or like get involved in it in some way.
It's animated by one of the studios that was involved in the Samurai Batman stuff. You guys ever saw that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the samurai.
God, that start looks like a Gorillaz video.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Because then they get into like combat and stuff. There's
Yep.
some type of story built into it. There's no actual like person-to-person conversation. It's all backed by Sturgill Simpson's music that he specifically wrote for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is badass.
Yeah, it's super cool.
It's such a cool idea. It's very like cyberpunk.
Netflix has done a phenomenal job of producing high quality original anime content
Yeah.
that kind of they do a good job of making stuff that really conforms to traditional anime tropes, but stuff that also pushes the envelope and steps just a little bit
Just
outside.
a little bit, yeah. I've noticed a lot more tits, ass, and dick in Netflix lately. just all around in general. Just full frontal and back goal nudity.
Baffle nudity. Yeah, it's super badass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's just a
Super
cool
dope.
fight scene that happens right after that.
Yeah, you need to watch The Mandalorian. It's good.
Yeah, it's the tough time right now in fandoms where it's like, listen, you gotta be up to the minute, not just up to the week.
Yeah, you kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Disney publicly state that you really only get like a couple of days to watch something before people should be allowed to spoil it because of how they release it?
Like,
right.
just at this
Everyone
point,
knows
like,
it's coming,
you
so
know it's coming. If
yeah,
you're
watch it or
not,
don't.
it's up to you to watch it. And if you get it spoiled,
Fuck, man.
that's kind
I'm
of
sorry
just
I'm a day behind.
that's the price of doing
You're
business
good,
sometimes.
You're good.
But I'm very excited.
What do we think about Tesla truck?
I find it
Cybertruck.
so ironic that we're talking about this again.
I told you last week that like this was coming, and here it is. I want to see the interior though.
I think it's cool because I think Tesla's a cool company that pushes the envelope of what it means to make vehicles.
Yeah,
Doesn't really do it for me.
yeah. I mean, they're like,
I'll totally go see one when there's one in town to like see.
yeah, right.
In a showroom somewhere.
That's just the whole talk.
Yeah. Again,
A car show or something.
Musk products are dope.
There's
Yeah,
a Tesla
100%.
dealership going in over
Yeah, but you know how their dealerships work, right?
Yeah,
They don't like have cars there
I
for you
know.
to just buy.
I know.
Like they have a car in a showroom that you can look at.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it. And then you just order it online.
Exactly.
I know.
You
And
want
then
the
you wait a
car.
couple
Fucking
years.
genius.
You want
It's
the car, you're gonna
fucking
get the
genius.
car.
They're not spending any money transporting these cars to those locations.
Yeah.
All of that
100%.
money is just
They just
not
bring
being
it right
spent.
to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's smart.
It's
good
super
business.
smart. It's basically like on-demand car.
But yeah, you're right. Most products are super cool. Now, along the realm of what we usually talk about or what this is all about, Starlink. You know about
Yeah.
Starlink?
I do. Did you see that he sent a tweet using his own
Starlink.
internet the other day?
Wi-Fi mesh network developed and maintained by a series of satellites that just constantly orbit the Earth. Approximately 60,000 of them.
So you're saying global Wi-Fi
Yeah.
at the cost of having a lot of orbit traffic?
Yes.
Because I imagine at a certain point that takes effect. And it's going to be curious. How much can we throw up into our orbit or around our orbit before...
Okay, so
It
obviously,
affects things.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean...
Yeah, 100%. I assume if we're talking about doing something like that, though, this
They've
has
done
been
the math,
considered to
right.
some degree. I question, like, the viability of maintaining it. Because there's variables you got to account for, like, you know, something that enters the atmosphere and takes one out.
Mm-hmm.
Or coming into contact with another
And especially
tracking.
if you have everyone solely dependent upon that.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
now, here's my question. What if they are being masked as internet satellites while also being dually used as global defense network?
I mean, I doubt he doesn't do anything for weapons production or manufacturing.
I
Like,
agree.
not-
Yeah, it's only
not
it's
his-
transportation only.
No, it's
basically.
not. Yeah, the idea
Like-
behind this isn't like, yeah, we'd be able to use it for like cellular and like just regular home Wi-Fi, but the real goal is to use it to create truly autonomous driving. Because with that,
Oh
grid
yeah,
in
with that
place
grid,
absolutely
yeah,
everywhere,
100%.
the
Yeah.
satellite system can then control cars to, you know, centimeters of control.
Yeah.
And
That would be dope.
yeah, and then it makes autonomous driving like
Well, you have to
truly viable.
you have to realize that like Musk is already thinking in 5G. Like,
No, he's thinking that's beyond 5G.
I agree, but like
that
his 5G
surpasses
is
that by
like
miles.
he's already like his 5G is like it's baseline.
He's not even thinking about current technologies.
No.
He's literally looking at how do we make like these future technologies.
How do we make an internet that we can
realistic.
use between here and Mars? That's what he's thinking about.
I don't know if he's there yet.
He's talked about it, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I imagine he has countless irons in the fire.
The dude doesn't sleep.
Right.
Like
Like he-
4 hours of sleep he gets a day or something like
We
that.
know about
and
like
he-
8 things that he's doing,
and he
and then he's got like
doesn't-
4 buried.
Well, then he's got the boring company digging tunnels underneath LA just for the fun of it, just to see if it works. And then he's doing a whole loop in Vegas, which they just started.
I think he's got a contract in Chicago too.
The man is a phenom. He's the Benjamin Franklin of our time. He's the Tesla of our time. He's the whatever inventor of our time he is. That's just it. Bar none. There's no one else.
I don't think it's worth even comparing him to anyone else
No,
because he
it's
just
not.
operates so differently. The closest person to him would have been Tesla. Because Musk's he's like a child. Like you watch him do like a speech or like talk about a product or something, he's just super excited about like this new way of doing stuff. That's why he did the torch that he did.
Yep.
Like, it was just, can we do it? It's why they released...
Well, he also needed like $5 million, so he just like sold 5,000 of them at whatever.
Fun little
piece.
fundraiser.
Yeah.
Well, let's just do that. It's ridiculous. Why they made an ATV and didn't talk about it until they released the truck.
Did the truck. Because
And didn't even talk about it. Just,
No.
oh, by the way, we did it.
we just made it. Are they going to be available? Maybe.
Limited supply, I'm sure.
Yeah. For now, we'll see.
Season 4 of Rick and Morty yet?
Yes.
They have 2 episodes down. I've seen the first because they had it for free on the Adult Swim. But then, from my understanding, when the next week's episode gets released, the prior week's episode becomes available on AdultSwim.com. So I haven't seen the second one. First one is a solid premiere, Rick and Morty.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. Excited to see the second one, and third one comes out this upcoming week.
Netflix, Avatar Last Airbender.
I'm
Wait,
still
what?
so very confused about this.
What? Are they remaking it?
But, like, how?
Or is it just like being uploaded to Netflix? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they just got the contract for it.
New episodes? What says new episodes?
Yeah. Well, you got
No,
that one. You're dealing with Emergency Awesome, so he can be using past
Oh.
footage to talk about something up
Yeah,
and coming
good point.
because he doesn't have current footage.
That's true.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea what to expect with Avatar on Netflix. But yeah, check out that trailer for Plan 8.
Oh, yeah.
Because talking about, like, Musk and everything, this is his biggest nightmare as well.
Not wrong.
Musk doesn't have that.
No, this is his nightmare.
This looks amazing.
I'm rocking a half chub right now.
What in the fuck? Why did I not hear about this? When did this come out?
I'm pretty sure this trailer is very new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I haven't heard anything about this.
What? I feel like this is something we should see at E3. Jesus. Is this at like Gamescom or something? Oh my god. Oh no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the John Connor experience, but if Terminators were a little more terrifying.
Well, I mean, the reveal trailer came out like 23 hours ago through IGN. So this is completely new.
Okay. Well, we're definitely going to share that on the page real quick.
That looks silly.
Real cool.
Or maybe it's a
Who is
week.
it made by?
Maybe it's a
Developers
week
of
old.
Black Desert.
Yeah, Pearl Abyss. And they're calling this an MMO shooter.
Oh yeah, I assume there's going to be like power-ups. Like
It looked like it based on
Yeah.
racking in and upgrading your character with gear.
are we still hyped about Cyberpunk? Speaking of Cybertruck.
I'm torn on Cyberpunk. I'm having a hard time getting long-term hype invested in a game
I
with how
know.
fast stuff comes out.
Well, people are announcing things. They announce something that they say is going to come out like a year and a half from the announcement, and then it gets pushed like 6 months.
Yeah, so you end up waiting like 2 to 3 years for a game,
Yeah,
or longer.
and then you're
sometimes.
trying to hold that hype from 2 or 3 years,
I don't know
and
if I
it's
can
like,
do it anymore. I'm having a hard time doing it because
Yeah.
I was super hyped when they first released it,
Yeah.
and now I'm just kind of ignoring it until it happens.
Yeah, they put a lot out for it really early.
this just came out. The
It
multiplayer
It
is
looks
small.
sweet, but
It
it's
looks
never
beautiful.
stopped looking sweet.
Yeah.
April 16th, 2020.
Oh, that's my birthday.
Oh,
Eh.
birthday boy. I guess we know what you're getting.
Yeah, right.
Keanu Reeves, obviously. I mean, that's pretty much the thing that's holding us onto this game. Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, who's coming, you guys? If we're talking about like a game that we're legitimately hyped for, though, now that we've gotten through the big, A-listers that we've been looking forward to with Death Stranding and Fallen Order, the next big one, early next year, Kakarot.
Yeah, Kakarot's going to be amazing.
That's my big hype right now.
When does that come out?
February next year, I believe.
February or March. It's early. January.
Oh, wow.
16th.
Sweet.
But
Yeah, I've seen a little bit about that. You're not going to just be playing as Kakarot, but like obviously the story is just going to be. Now, is this going to be like any different from any of the other Dragon Ball games?
Oh,
Is
yes.
the question.
It looks to be very different.
Because of side missions. The fact that we're going into so much
Okay.
unexplored lore through random little mini side quests. Like, yeah, we're going to go through the tried and true, but we're also going to fill in some blanks.
How involved is
Toriyama.
yeah.
I mean, I imagine, like Saban, nothing goes by without clearing.
I assume.
Yeah, Toriyama cares about his baby.
As well he should.
Oh, yeah. And it's amazing that we can keep going through this same story, but they keep making it look better and better and giving you a couple new dynamic, like, gameplay aspects.
Oh, so this is like open world.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm
Yes.
saying with, like, the little side quests. You go
Okay.
everywhere and you can bump into anyone. I imagine, using a scouter or a dragon radar, you'll be able to have a map to figure out
Yeah,
where you're trying
of
to go,
course.
but... And it goes through all of Z. It looks so good. I'm gonna dump so much time into this game.
I think I mentioned it the last time I was over. I've never purchased a Dragon Ball game, but
We talked
I
about
will
it a few
almost
weeks ago, but yeah.
certainly.
We just talked about like seeing the trailer
Mhm.
initially.
My boy.
I know, right? Stoked. I think this is more of the Majin Buu stuff than I had seen. I'd really
This is the
only
Majin
seen
Buu arc trailer.
Oh, yeah, I had only really seen the Frieza arc and like the front end of Cell.
Yeah, all of Z. And then once we get done with Super, we'll be able to go through that one as a completely different narrative. I'm enjoying Super a lot.
Are you watching it?
Are there current new?
Are you reading it?
I'm not reading, unfortunately.
I
Yeah, I'm up through the Universal tournament.
think anime's farther than manga? Question mark.
I'm not sure.
I'm not confident.
I
I
can-
haven't stayed following just enough to know like who new additions are as far as baddies. Like I know a little bit about Moro, who comes right after the tournament arc.
Yeah, that's definitely further than I've seen them.
Yeah. Post
So I
tournament
might
arc,
not be caught up.
they come into a. I think X was mentioning it the last time he was here.
Yeah, the most caught up I am is Broly movie.
I haven't seen Broly movie.
I actually have it purchased. I have it on my 4.
Nice.
You can watch it whenever you have time. It's a good time.
Fascist.
It's a game called Everwild.
Alright then.
Yeah, I don't know. I just Saw it. Shared it. Thought we should know about it.
New pretty games.
Yep.
We're on the way.
They're always on the way.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Bleeding Edge. Yeah. Dwayne Johnson, Black Adam. What are our thoughts? I think we talked about it a little bit last week, not very much. And
I'm curious to see if this is going to be like before Billy Batson, and then
a prequel. I think I did hear that it was going to be like kind of like taking place a long time ago. Like,
so if we're doing a completely standalone Black Adam movie that has potential to be really sweet, and then have a legitimate developed character for when we get a Shazam 2.
I read this article the other day.
Yeah. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
And they're going. Are they going Society, not like League? That's weird.
Though most of Black Adam's stories revolve around his ongoing battle against Billy Batson and the rest of the Shazam crew, according to Dwayne Johnson, the character's upcoming feature will actually introduce another rare, rather significant element of DC's comics lore and cinematic universe. In a recent interview, Johnson explained that because Black Adam is said to be an origin film of sorts, audience members shouldn't expect to see him facing off against Shazam just yet. Justice Society of America. Unsurprisingly, Johnson didn't go into detail. Okay. Yeah, that's really all we know.
Yeah, because that becomes the question of what Black Adam's opposition is.
Well, do you think that, like, the Justice Society goes bad and he, like, starts fighting against them, basically, because they do like a flip and they start doing things that he doesn't agree with, and then they label him as the bad guy type thing. It's kind of
maybe
like most villains are like misunderstood, and that's kind of like,
yeah, but I think he has a legitimate like God complex.
oh, well,
100%.
No,
Yeah, no, 100%.
Everyone is beneath him, so this is going to be
this is going to be him, like,
this is going to be
his descent.
Weirdly Joker-esque in the sense that I imagine this is going to be someone who had opportunity and then fell because of shifting of events.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that.
Like, they're not going to be going, like, gritty dark with it, but they very well could.
They totally could. They totally should.
It will be interesting to see.
But that has to tie back into Shazam at some point. This guy has to interact with a very kid-friendly character.
True.
Because, I mean, families were off-put by even the 7 Deadly Sins in the Shazam movie.
I know.
It's too bad.
I know.
But watching a Black Adam, like, grow into himself will be very interesting. Especially with The Rock at it.
Yeah, The Rock is definitely the best casting for that, I think.
I'm almost a little bit annoyed by comic movies right now because of how much they have to pander to a wide audience.
Right.
It just cuts off some really interesting, like, we'll never see the current stuff that's happening in the comics within DC, within the DC universe.
Absolutely not.
Because Billy Batson's evil. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers.
Oh god, so sorry. Oh god.
Like,
everything goes topsy-turvy.
Multiple times.
Yes.
Through different story arcs.
I think that's about it that I got. Can check.
Another interesting thing that I found. So recently, Marvel Comics #1, like a near mint copy, sold today. How much do you think? Or recently, how much do you think it sold for?
I'm sorry, what?
Marvel Comics #1 recently sold for a absurd amount of money.
Absurd amount. Okay.
What would you put the number at guessing?
500 million.
Oh, that's
A cold $500 million.
I was gonna say that's actually quite a bit too absurd.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I'd maybe go like just shy of $1 million, like 750.
1.26 million on Marvel Comics #1, which introduced Human Torch, Angel, Submariner, and whoever the fuck the Masked Raider is.
was it signed by?
No, it was in
Stan
mint
Lee?
condition. So because of the history of it. But then with a little bit more, found out that that's not even the highest
So
selling.
you're saying I should
single
be
issue
saving
comic.
all of my comics that I have right now, which
And
is
number-
Not necessarily.
Number one. I mean, those are very historic #1s, so it's curious
Yeah.
to see
But
what
I have
will
a
be
couple-
historically
I
significant
do have a
later.
couple of like old ones.
All right. What's nostalgic to some?
Yeah.
No, but you know what the #1 selling comic was? Action Comics #1 with the
Yeah.
birth of Superman.
Oh, okay.
Sold for 3.2 mil for a singular comic.
Must be nice.
That must be fucking nice.
Damn it. Who has that much money?
That's what I'm
to buy-
saying.
To
For
just
a
like
singular
throw
issue.
down on a comic. It's like
That they're
like
never
yes, it
going
was
to
it
touch.
was of course like an auction. Like they had to like go up in price from like betting.
Mhm.
But like, who's the guy who saw like what was it 3.
3.2.
Who's the guy who heard 3.1 and was like, this motherfucker's going down?
Do those hundreds of thousands of dollars matter when you're in the millions?
Like someone probably said 3 million and he's like 3.2.
3.2.
3.2. Because that's how that works. Shit.
Yeah, man, that's.
Are we
fucking
caught up
wild.
on Watchmen?
Man, I am not on HBO, and it cripples me more and more all the time. I
haven't
haven't
watched
watched
any of
Chernobyl. I haven't watched Barry.
I haven't watched
I'm
Chernobyl. I
so-
need to watch it. I already knew a bunch.
I'm
on
kicking my
Chernobyl, so
ass
I
for
didn't
not
feel
having
like-
HBO.
Just get a good streaming site as
Yeah.
best as you can. Yeah, that's all I can say.
But so good, great.
It's good.
Grand.
It's
This takes
It's-
place after the graphic novel.
it's a
is done,
slow
so it's
grind.
its own.
It's its
story.
own story after the original comics. It's like immediately after the original comics.
Right.
After the war, after like everything. It's basically after Dr. Manhattan goes to Mars. And it's like how life goes on after he goes to Mars and doesn't come back.
The trailer for it looked amazing. I haven't been able to watch, but I'm excited for it.
It's good.
any of it.
It's good. It definitely covers things that you knew happened in that universe, but they never kind of showed. It covers them. You know what I mean? It they talk about them or they hint at them and and there's clearly another build up coming. They start off really strong and then it's slow grind. And then you can tell they're building up to something bigger. So it's good.
Have you started Death Stranding?
I've not, and I've done a really good job of staying away from any types of spoilers or news or
Congratulations.
reviews.
Good for you.
Yeah. Partially because I don't know if I care. Partially because I know that a Hideo Kojima story is bound to be phenomenal and have twists and turns that I'm not expecting.
Mhm.
So I don't want to spoil anything.
The only
If I
thing I
do
would
end up doing
say is don't expect it to be a first person shooter at all.
I'm well aware that it's
Yeah.
not that.
With that said, though, the game does progress nicely over time.
Are you playing it?
Yeah, I am in the thick of it. I haven't completed it. It's
Bro, good luck completing it.
Well,
I
not
haven't-
100%.
I haven't completed Metal Gear Solid 5.
I'm saying the narrative.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, I've done the campaign, but I haven't
Right. No,
done all the
I don't
stuff.
expect to 100% this game, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is to get through the entire narrative.
I'm trying to 100% it. That's what I mean. But yeah, as far as the narrative goes, I have.
But like you're saying, Kojima games are always narratively astounding. But what I was going to say, to the credit of trying to get you more interested in getting it, the gameplay advancement over time, each time you get something new, it feels fresh and really appreciated because you, like, it's similar with the Fallen Order, where you start with a certain amount and then you skill tree up. So being able to progressively get more things at your disposal, it makes the gameplay a lot more entertaining as you go.
Good. That's good to know.
Lots of fun.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack, my god.
It's good.
So good.
I mean, I expect nothing less.
Did you guys ever see 12 Monkeys?
Multiple times.
Not in a long time.
It's one of the movies that the Stranger Things writers are like. They apparently put out on Twitter various movies that they're watching to influence episodes of Stranger Things.
12 Monkeys along with The Matrix and a Goofy movie. This is a wide array.
And High School Musical.
And High School. So yeah, Assassin's Creed the movie. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Starship Troopers. Fallen.
How they're covering their bases. We're just we're gonna absorb everything.
We're going to
and
do a little bit of everything here.
find a way to chisel this marble down.
Yep.
Because they can. I mean, I've been a fan of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
so
Season 4
chisel
is
away at
officially
whatever
announced
materials
for
you
Stranger
have.
Things,
That's a Goofy
Followed by
movie.
Goofy movies.
so.
Stranger Things is great.
Yeah.
Polar opposites.
Stranger Things 4 officially announced. So
Where
get ready for that. That'll probably be out by June, July ish. I assume.
either keeping to the same schedule or alternating.
Yeah.
Well,
Either
they
that or
haven't. They haven't maintained a schedule.
Right.
But
it's
they
been kind
have
of
some-
random.
They have. They seem to tie it to a holiday.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah.
So if they continue that theme,
Mhm.
They've done Halloween, 4th of July. Christmas was the first one.
I really don't know what you do next without, hitting some type of religious holiday.
St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
Technically, yeah.
But it's
Religious
not really, It's
holiday?
not really one that kids would celebrate.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna. You have to imagine they're gonna be late teenagers.
Yep. They should be coming towards the end of high school.
Graduations and
drunk.
proms, right?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no, I have no idea.
Well, yeah, it'll be good. I'm sure. They always seem to kill it every time.
Yeah, I've been impressed with all three.
I've not been disappointed.
Yeah. Weren't they gonna move on and do other things too?
Yeah, but they're making money.
They're making so much money.
And fans happy.
Yeah.
And they can't just kill off fucking.
It's interesting. They just came to the end of doing a collaboration with Rocket League.
Did they?
Yeah.
Sweet.
They had a upside down themed map and then a bunch of
Was that the Halloween theme?
what was it called? Shadow something. Yeah. It's cool. I've got a
Oh yeah.
Scoops
I see.
Ahoy banner wrap around my picture for the game.
Yeah.
And then they had some car stuff. I think they had one that was.
Demogorgon shaped.
I think they had a paint pattern that matched Hopper's Hawaiian shirt from season 3
Oh, okay.
that he wears on the date.
Yeah.
Have you guys played Rocket League?
A little bit, but not like.
Party game.
Yeah.
It's such a phenomenal game. The physics are perfect.
They're exactly what you want them to
I'm really
be.
biased because I've been playing it for years and years and years. And
I remember when Reed started playing it at first when it like first came out.
we were playing it yesterday,
Yeah.
actually.
That's cool though.
Endless fun.
All right. Well, that's about time to wrap this thing up. Also, Bill Burr is going to be in The Mandalorian, so keep an eye out for him.
And Sindel's right around the corner, 26.
Oh yeah, that's right. I just saw that video about her.
Nice.
Saw
How's their expanded roster been for that?
brutality.
Do DLC characters live up to your wants? I know we talked at one point about who would make the cut, wouldn't make the cut.
I am still, as a fanboy, admittedly, I'm a little disappointed with the selection of certain characters, but each character they've released has played fun. To varying degrees, some are a little better, some are a little worse, but I've been playing all the characters as they come out and kind of exploring them, playing with different, types of moves and options and, against other different types of character types. I've been enjoying it. We have Shang Tsung, Nightwolf, and Terminator already behind us, and then we have Sindel, who's coming out right away, and then Joker Spawn.
Okay. They're just doing 6? Don't they traditionally do
For
9?
this combat pack. Well, I mean, they switch it up all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Good.
Excited for Sindel.
Just
bring
whooping
back
ass,
that
taking
old
names.
school flair.
Oh, this is old. Never mind.
Yeah, get Spawn.
Spawn will be cool.
Spawn's gonna be cool.
Spawn will be cool.
There's a reason
Yeah.
they're pushing him for absolute last.
Yeah.
And the spacing of the rollout has made it very fun because they had the initial swell of the game, and then each time a new character comes out, there's a little bit of a push and
Sure.
reason to keep coming back to it. So definitely getting my money's worth out of both the game and the combat pack.
Well, yeah, I'll watch a Brutality and Fatality. Do they have a gear system in it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Similar to what they did with Injustice 2.
Yes, certain things are only cosmetic, but through augments, you can have stat effects that work predominantly in the single player offline or single player online.
Got it.
Oh, straight up.
Clean.
I imagine that one's requirements is you have to do it a fair amount of times and you have to be
Yeah.
able to do it.
Probably.
Yeah, she's pretty brutal, but I really want to see Spawn with all the chains,
Oh yeah, Spawn's
his
gonna be
cape.
amazing.
everything.
I'm incredibly lukewarm
And
on Joker, but
the
again, I've been
demons.
enjoying playing all of them. I was lukewarm on Terminator, and Terminator's been pretty fun.
Cool.
All right. Well, it's about time to wrap it up, boys.
Oh yeah, it's been
All right. If you like this kind of content, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell down below so you get a notification every time we upload a video. My name is John Tubbs,
Tegan Lagerwell.
Colin Lifford.
and we'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya later.
Peace.